All right, Freddie, you want to give everyone a quick just background on you, what you do, how long you've been doing it?
Yes, sir. So my name is Betty. I've been selling Amazon for the past year, some change now. And as far as Amazon goes, I've been killing it. I've been in the e-com game for about a couple years now. And I was just introduced to Info from Grayson not too long ago. Obviously, fake. I am month and some change. I still around 2 months now. Uh, and he told me about how it works and how you can basically turn your charisma and that person you are and what you do for a living to a business as well. And I was like, wasn't me too interested in the meaning. I was like, I wanted to give it a bit of shot since some of my boys have worked with them in the past, and then also, like, I just wanted to make some extra money or just to have some actual work for myself as well on top of my business. So that's how I found out about him, and that's who I am as well.
Yeah, love it, bro. And where were you at in like just business, like with info when you first started out?
So Info had like not really nothing coming in. I'll probably say to make an extra like maybe 1K a month, maybe, or like maybe a couple hundred, but that wouldn't even be consistently every month. It would be like every other month. I think I got before then I had like two info sales in January, and that was like my biggest month. That was like
Yep.
1,400, and then it was dead. Then I got like another sale, and then I think right before I started working with him, I had like zero, and then I got like two, and then we signed, and it started going up.
Yep. There we go, bro. And back in that time, what were like the biggest bottlenecks or like issues you were running into?
Honestly, content ideas, I was always at a standstill. Like I never knew whether to post or really what the people wanted. And he always kept reassuring me that people are out there paying premiums for learning knowledge, but I really didn't see it on my end, and I didn't know how to nurture any leads. Didn't know really what content to post. I was just good at my business, and when it came to like talking on the camera, I already knew how to talk to the camera. I just didn't know how to really convert the two into making a business.
Yeah. There we go, bro. And what made you like reach out and want to work with me?
I think again, it was really I seen some of my friends work on YouTube. That was the only reason I gave you some type of time of the day because it's a lot of other guys you seen that DM you first and like yo and just a quick second. So when I seen you talking for me, I was like, I seen you really reputable on the scene. I didn't have a problem talking to you, whereas the other people that came off pretty awkward or too aggressive. You pretty much went straight to the point. You took care of me and you were really kind of friendly, especially with the first call. You didn't even, charge. Like you called me in and you were like, let's work on this, and I think this will really work out for you. And it did. I was rightfully so ready to go on board after that.
Yep. Yep. And then throughout the process of working together for the last like 2 months, we changed a lot of things. Like there's a lot to change. We really dialed in a lot. But what would you say is like the biggest change that made a difference?
I'd say like me seeing the opportunity with Instagram, like especially the leads from Instagram, because I was a big TikTok guy before I met him, and that's what and literally all my organic traffic came from, or it was word of mouth, like from a friend of a friend. I might have got a student there, but me opening my eyes to Instagram changed everything. To be honest, because I kept telling him I was like, "There's no way Instagram converts," or I think I was like, "I don't think that." You were like, "No, you need to go in. Here's the platform." I didn't really see it, but he gave me the idea of the post and just telling me be consistent. And it wasn't too easy at the beginning, especially, but eventually we started to kick it up, and we're still kicking it up right now. It's still really fresh,
Yep.
so we're like so a lot better than.
Yeah, bro. And where's the offer at now compared to when we started out?
So you mean like the price what I'm charging?
Like in the past month, like revenue wise, what we hit last
Okay,
month.
actually, so I think our first month was like I think we did like 2K, and then just last month was like six something, like basically like seven. We were like
Yep.
649, so it was like about 7K. And then right now we're trying to be on case for our 10K month, and it's literally I don't know how many X's that would be. I went for like zero, so tons of X's, so
Yep.
it went crazy in a short amount of time.
Yeah. 100%, bro. And then one of the last questions here. What would you say to another like coach or business owner like looking into working with me?
I got you. So Gray's gonna take good care of you, bro. Like no doubts in my mind. He's a really transparent dude. He tells you what needs to get done. It seems like he's really knowledgeable. Like he has a good following. The people he has worked with have a good following. And as long as you actually work with him, I feel like some people, get into the business, especially with myself. I always try to make sure like You have to do the work as well. And the company, he'll give you all the sauce of what you need to do. As long as you show up and put in the work as well, it will work out. So if you are nervous to work with him, I understand. I was too. But as long as you actually work together with him, it'll pay off. Sure.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. Appreciate you, Fetty. Now to real quick take a step back from that interview with my client Fetty and cover an exact summary and roadmap of how exactly we scaled from absolutely starting at 0 to 6.5K a month in just 60 days, starting with me and posting content, growing the brand, forming and adapting the offer. Number one, we started with the brand strategy. We were starting at 0, not that much content posted, not that many followers. And as we know, it doesn't take millions and even hundreds of thousands of followers to make tens of thousands of dollars online by monetizing your skill set, monetizing your value, creating an offer. Because if you're selling high ticket, you don't need that many people, but you do need a brand strategy. You do need to directly speak to your ICP. You need to know who that ICP is in the first place. So that's exactly what we did. We crafted that out. We crafted out the offers based on that ICP, based on a few other variables too. The demographic, based on the skill set and value that Fetty specifically wanted to share, and also based on other factors such as how much time he wanted to spend on this offer, on this business in general. Those are all factors that go into making an offer that works for you and it works for your clients, and overall just it works for both parties. It works for the market and it works for the client themselves. And lastly, we want to shape the identity. The identity of your brand is the core message that you stand behind, and it's what makes you unique. It's what makes you stand out. And so in Fetty's situation here, we knew that his special, specific identity, which is very important for knowing exactly who's going to resonate with your content the most, what exact avatar to really laser focus on in your messaging. We knew Fetty's was going to be sharing the transparent journey and wisdom from scaling an online business. Now, this is going to vary person by person depending on your experience, depending on how you want to go about building your brand, depending on the avatar that you're servicing, depending on the business models that you're teaching. It's going to depend on a lot of things. But this was phase one. We knew we had to crack the brand strategy. We had to get out there organically. And quick disclaimer on the topic of acquisition and brand strategy, we've done this completely organically, haven't spent a dime on ads because we're still laying the organic foundation. What you'll find is there's a lot of money to squeeze just in organic, just by building your personal brand, setting up some systems on the back end, having a DM process, having a setter, having a sales process that's optimized, you can close at a high rate, adapting your offers, throwing in a low ticket, removing a low ticket, increasing the price of your high ticket. So there's a lot of little tweaks and things that we did here and there throughout the last 2 months. But now hopping into the content engine. Now, the thing about this is that none of this over here matters if you can't turn it into a consistent content engine. It's kind of like how mindset doesn't matter unless you can actually go apply what you're learning and put in the reps, put in the work. It's the same thing here. This is kind of all theory in the first place. It's kind of all content strategy, and none of it really matters unless we can implement it. Now, at the same time, this is going to do way worse if we don't have this implemented, right? Just back to the mindset analogy, you're going to perform worse if you're not right in the mind, right? And so that's exactly how this works here. What we did is we crafted up his content engine. We took this information and we're like, hey, okay, what formats of content? How consistent are we going to be? What are the different touch points? What are the pillars of our content? What are we going to do in the first place? And we had to sort that out from short form to long form based on our goals here. We knew that short form was going to be the biggest first lever to pull because we needed to put out a lot of content, cast that broad net, and reach people in the first place. But we knew at the same time, we also had to keep in mind YouTube. We had to post some YouTube videos there. Of course, allocated less resources, less time and energy to it, because the bigger lever to pull in the beginning is, of course, the short form. It's to reach as many people as possible, maximize the reach potential, and then come back and nurture this audience so they're higher quality with that long form. And so with short form, we knew we needed a consistent daily series. Why did we go with the daily series? Because of the identity. We're sharing the transparent journey and wisdom from scaling, and so we needed something transparent like a daily series. Every single day showing up, giving that transparent, authentic day in the life is basically what it was. We also had to break down the pillars of content. We had broad, relatable content, tactical and authority content, story and journey-based content, and we can't just stop there because these are pillars for every type of brand, right? We had to go into what do these look like pillar by pillar, because we know that these pillars are very important, right? We need to hit these different touch points for different purposes in our content. Some are going to sell people more. Some are simply going to get people to relate to us and like us more. Some of them are going to maximize for reaching the most people, but not necessarily bringing in sales. And so having a content strategy is all about having these different pillars of content that serve different purposes. And then we knew we needed an effective YouTube strategy. We needed to be present on YouTube. We had two primary goals with YouTube. We didn't overcomplicate it. We knew that we needed to nurture, build trust, overload of value, information, not implementation. That's what they pay for. And pre-sell leads. This was about saving time. This was about increasing lead quality and making sure that people show up pre-sold on those sales calls and not asking who you are and what you do, because we want them to spend more time with us. That's exactly what they're doing with YouTube. And we know as well that we can entertain on YouTube as well. We can share perspectives on lifestyle, we can do vlogs, and all these build desire. They tend to reach more people, and they build that desire needed as well. Now, at the end of the day, we knew we needed our conversion system. We knew that reach is great, a strategy is great, but at the end of the day, if we can't convert, if we don't have the right back-end processes, none of this is going to come together, and an info business simply isn't going to run. And so what this looked like is a few core key components at the stage that we're at. It was number one, story CTAs, it was comment and DM CTAs, and it was YouTube descriptions, which brought in some of the highest quality leads. But right here, with the story CTAs and the comment and DM CTAs, these can be a hassle. These can be a lot to handle, very hands-on. You got to reply to every single DM. You got to set up the ManyChat automations for the comment CTAs. You got to respond to the DM CTAs. And so what did we do once we got to a point where the volume of leads was high enough to where Fetty could make more money and save more time by just taking these calls and not having to focus on the DMs, is we got a setter. And we saw from month 1 to month 2 over 2x increase in overall sales. And so the components of success when it comes to your conversion system is going to be a couple things. It's going to look like your DM process, it's going to be your sales process, having the right content in the first place to bring people to a point where they're at this conversion stage of the funnel and they're the right lead in the first place. They're the right person to be there, that's ready to buy, they have the cash on hand, they want to buy, they want the solution, they feel the desire because you've hit their pain points the right way. And lastly, a YouTube strategy to nurture. This is a big time saver right here. It's going to print higher quality leads. You should definitely make sure you have a proper YouTube strategy throughout all of your acquisition. Now, I hope this video is valuable to you, to give you some perspectives and some action steps to start making more money in your info offer right now, to scale your socials, to increase your acquisition overall. And hey, if you are a coach, info seller, or service-based business owner, and you want to see if me and my team could step in and increase your lead flow, boost the engagement on your socials, overall grow your personal brand, I'll leave a link down below in the description of this video where you can book a call to speak directly with me one-on-one. You can apply to work with me and we'll see if we're a good fit there. But I'll catch you in the next one. Keep getting after it.